The Johnsky is a YouTube channel run by and run for people over the age of 13. People under the age of 13 should click off of this video right now, or watch with a parent or guardian. Viewer discretion is advised. Milts freaking today, Militiamen. My name is King Prime, and welcome back to another video here on the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at another Transformers Legacy figure, that being the Transformers Legacy Deluxe Class Kickback. Yes, we have an Insecticon in our midst, and I know this isn't exactly a new figure. This is pretty old by now, but with figures like Shrapnel and Bombshell eventually making their way to the shelves, I do want to get a review after this, guys, so that I can have all three Insecticons all reviewed up on the channel. But before we get into those reviews, let's take a look at the packaging as always. Up front here, we have a nice picture of Kickback's really goofy insect mode. We have his name there, as well as the Legacy trades. Under my thumb is the Hasbro trades as well, and Deluxe Class. Big Transformers trades on the sides, as well as the Takara Tomy and Generations logos. Up top, Transformers trades once again. On the side here, we have the old style of Legacy artwork, as well as the authentic and Legacy trades once again. On the other side, we have Kickback's mugshot, as well as his name in Cybertronian, as well as another picture of him fully blown up, so it's his entire body. The back of the box, we have Kickback's name once again, 14 Steps to Transform, and the pictures of him in robot and insect mode. We have some text specs there, and some legal jargon no one cares about. And that's about it for the packaging. I said in every single video, you only really care about this kind of stuff if you're a carded collector, of which I am not. I'm here to open and review toys, and that is just what I'm going to do. Freeze frame. Freeze frame unfreeze, and here is Kickback and all of his accessories. Before we take a look at the figure itself, let's take a look at those accessories. Firstly, we have this nice shiny, I'll move a little closer to the light here, this nice shiny metallic silver and purple machine gun, very reminiscent to the G1 design, and that of course can be held in Kickback's hand. This does, I mean, really look like a Thompson, I'm not going to lie, especially with the drum. That's what I see this thing as, on top of these awful, atrocious, horrendous things, which are technically supposed to be on his wings. These sort of blade-like devices, which can, you know, attach into any port you can conceive of, but are supposed to tab onto the sides of the wings here in these little grooves right there. As you can see, there are little squares on the sides of the wings, which can attach, and I have this one on the wrong side, right into there, and then the same thing on the other side. This is more for the alt mode, but it is supposed to be stored there. Personally, I despise these things. In fact, I usually just leave them to the side. I don't even attach them to the figure, but on Kickback himself, he is a spitting image of his G1 self. I'm getting in close here, looking at the details. He does have a face which pops right off of the screen, especially with that red visor and those yellow antenna with the silver metallic paint. He has the Decepticon sigil right there, the clear yellow pieces over his chest, as well as that little blue detail going down there. We do have some more yellowish gold on his knees and some red on the venting on his shins, purple feet, and that's about it. As for the articulation of the figure, these wing pieces here are articulated. You can get them moving. In fact, I usually store them down like this just to give Kickback sort of a lower profile, but they can spin all the way around, and it is not impeded in any way. But in addition to that, you do have a ball joint at the head, even though it's kind of hindered by the blockiness of it, as well as these antennae, which are articulated as well. He does have a full range of motion at the shoulder, can go all the way out and all the way around. As you can see, there is a very, very good elbow bend. It can go all the way up, but that's mainly due to the transformation. I also do have a bicep swivel at the top right there underneath the shoulder. You have a nice waist swivel, can go all the way around 360 degrees, as well as a great range of motion at the thighs, which can go all the way forward, all the way back, even more than 180 degrees. and then all the way out, so he can do the full splits and mind the angle there. He does, of course, also have an upper thigh swivel, as well as a pretty okay knee bend. He does also have an ankle pivot and a toe joint, if you can even call it a toe joint. This is mainly just for transformation, but it is there. But that's enough for Kickback. Let's bring in some other figures so you can see exactly how he stacks up against some others. Freeze frame. Freeze frame on freeze. So here is Kickback next to someone like Soundwave. Here he is next to the golden standard of action figures himself, Dark Times Darth Vader. Here he is next to an old classic such as Classics 06 Optimus Prime. If we bring him out here and zoom the camera way out, here he is next to our previous review, Transformers Legacy Menasor. You can see how they stack up there. But that's enough for Kickback's robot mode. Let's actually get him into his alternate mode so I can show you how he looks. Freeze frame.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Freeze frame on freeze. So to transform Kickback, first thing you're going to want to do is rotate his head 360 degrees, rotate his head 180 degrees, and flip up this little mask part here, which is kind of hard to get. You're going to have nails to get it, but it will just slip out there and it will cover his face like so. Next, you're going to want to rotate his arms downward like this, both of them, so that they are straight downwards. Then you can start to angle this purple and this black link arm forward about 45 degrees, and again about 45 degrees. Then rotate his robot mode hand around to reveal this sort of insect leg. Again, same thing on the other side, 45 degrees, 45 degrees. Rotate that around. You can then angle up his wings to be sort of in the grasshopper shape. Next, well, it's already worked its way down on this foot, but you're supposed to rotate the feet up and bring out the insect legs. Bring it completely down and bring the foot down and then rotate that 180 degrees. Same thing on the other side. Rotate that down, down, around. And then last thing you're going to want to do is sort of just place the knees, or just like hyperextend the knees. You can't really hear it, but you will feel it when it's in the proper angle. And then you can just finagle these into proper place to get him into a good standing pose. And there you have Kickback all transformed. Now, of course, you can actually transform this backwards, but you're not so, the wings are supposed to be with the flat part on top. So, if you are a full Cybertron fan, you could essentially just do this, rotate the legs around, and then rotate the arms around as well. If you wanted to have a Decepticon, Kickback that's kind of different, and then all you would need to do is angle up his wings there, but that's just optional. Personally, I like the yellow part sticking up. There he is in his insect mode. There is nothing really too fancy to say about it, other than it is an insect. I personally do not like it. I'll talk about that more in the final thoughts, but I just do not like the way the feet work on this, or the legs work. I wish there was a way they would tab in. They just kind of flop around and turn and all that stuff really easily. Something that I do not like, but of course in this mode you do have weapon storage for his machine gun. It does just plug into this port right here, which has a big crevice for the drum magazine to go into. You can just slot in there, and you have Kickback hiding the gun right under him. And of course there is that feature that I showed earlier, where you can plug in the little blade pieces on either side of the wings to create sort of blade wings, which I do not like. I do not use these pieces, but they are there as an option. For some reason, I don't know who thought about this, but it's crap, and I don't even care enough to put it on properly. So, for comparison, here we have our old friend Classics 06 Optimus Prime as a set of scales, and of course if we move them both to the side, here we have the golden standard of action figures himself, Dark Times Darth Vader, just to see how he stacks up to a normal 3 3/4 inch action figure. But moving past that, let's get Kickback back into Robo mode so I can tell you exactly what I think about this figure freeze frame. Freeze frame unfreeze. So overall, this figure is just okay. I do have my nitpicks with it. I don't like the bottom half, the alternate mode, but I do like the weapon a lot. And of course, this aesthetic is just a spitting image of what the G1 cartoon looked like. I really personally do like this design. And I hope that when we get around to Shrapnel and Bombshell, that the energy continues and we get some nice unit cohesion between this figure and the other two. But that being said, if you still like this figure the way it looks, or you like the Insecticons, the Decepticons, Transformers in general, what have you, make sure you like this video, share with your friends, share with the Facebook groups, all that good stuff. If you like the content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. It keeps helping the channel grow. It keeps helping me make this content. That's going to be pretty much it for this time, my friends. Thank you all so very much for watching, and as always, peace.